When we talk about cybersecurity, our minds usually jump to stolen data, right? Like credit card numbers or secret files. But what if a cyber attack could do way more? What if it could literally erase a company from existence? Well, that's the story we're getting into today. It's not just about losing some files, it's about losing, well, everything. So, to really grasp the sheer scale of this, you got to start with this number 158 years. Just let that sink in. We're talking about a legacy built over generations. This was a company that made it through world wars, through massive economic collapses, building its reputation piece by piece, year after year. And then there's the human cost. This right here, it's not just a statistic. It's 700 people, 700 families, their jobs, their paychecks, all tied to this one company. Think about it. One day you're going to work, business as usual. The next day, the company you work for is just gone. Poof, gone in an instant. A century and a half of history, 700 jobs completely wiped out. And that brings us to the big question, the one that this whole story hinges on. How? I mean, really, how does something like this even happen? All right, let's get into the details. The company we're talking about is KNP Logistics. You might know them by their older, more famous name, Knights of Old. This was a really respected transport company in the UK, a true pillar of the community. So just try to picture it. They had 500 trucks out on the road. This was a business that felt like it had been around forever. I mean, to everyone who knew it, this company was a permanent fixture. It seemed as solid as the very roads its trucks drove on. And then, just like that, it wasn't. Okay, so let's get into the anatomy of the attack. To really get why this company collapsed, we need to look at three things: the weapon they used, the criminals behind it, and the absolutely chilling demands they made. The weapon of choice here was ransomware. Now, if you're not familiar, the easiest way to think about ransomware is like digital kidnapping. Seriously, it's like a criminal breaks into your digital house, locks up everything you care about in a safe, and then says, "Hey, I've got the only key, and it's going to cost you." And these are the digital kidnappers, a cybercrime gang that goes by the name Akira. Now, this wasn't some random kid in a basement. This was a planned, targeted operation by an organized criminal group. And this is what they do. They make money from digital extortion. They often go after mid-sized companies, businesses that are big enough to have some cash, but maybe don't have the insane fortress-level security of a huge global corporation. And get this. This is part of the actual note the hackers left behind. Just listen to the tone. It's not just a demand for money, it's cold, it's cynical, it's almost like they're taunting them. This is the voice of someone who knows, without a doubt, that they have all the power. So what was the price for that key? £5 million, a staggering amount of money. And for a company like this, it was impossible. They just didn't have it. So the choice they were given, it wasn't really a choice at all. Which, of course, brings us to the biggest, most important question in this whole mess. With everything on the line, how in the world did these hackers even get in the first place? I mean, you'd think it would have to be something super sophisticated, right? Some crazy, complex hack straight out of a movie. Or maybe an inside job? You're left wondering, what could possibly be the weak point in a 158-year-old fortress? This is the answer, and it is so simple it's almost unbelievable. The entire attack, the one that destroyed a company with a 158-year legacy, all started because the hackers guessed a single employee's password. That's it. That was the open door. But hold on, a single bad password, that shouldn't be a death sentence for an entire company, right? I mean, that was just the first domino. The reason all the other dominoes fell, well, that points to a much, much deeper problem. And this is where things went from bad to catastrophic. See, once the Akira gang got in, they didn't just lock up the main files. They went looking for the backups. And they destroyed them too. The company's entire safety net was basically stored right next to the thing it was supposed to be protecting. It's the digital equivalent of leaving your spare key under the welcome mat. So here's the key takeaway. That one password, that was just the first crack in the dam. The real problem was the dam itself was full of holes. We're talking about a culture of weak passwords, no multi-factor authentication. That thing where you need a code from your phone to log in, backups that weren't kept separate and safe, and to top it all off, a cyber insurance policy that was nowhere near enough to cover the damage. It was just a complete chain reaction of failures.
Look, this whole story it's a devastating cautionary tale, but it's also a really urgent lesson for all of us. So let's pivot a little. Let's move from what went wrong for them and talk about what we can all do to make sure this kind of thing never happens to us.
And what's crazy is how simple, proactive steps can build such a strong defense. Number one, use a password manager. It stops people from using password 123 for everything. Two, turn on multi-factor authentication, or MFA. That second layer of security, that code from your phone, that alone probably would have stopped this whole attack in its tracks. Three, keep your backups separate. Isolate them. That way, even if the bad guys get in, they can't destroy your only way out. And finally, number four, check your insurance. Make sure it actually covers a real-world disaster scenario. Just these four things, they could have changed absolutely everything for Knights of Old. So in the end, the story of Knights of Old, it really forces every single one of us to ask a tough question. We all have a weak link somewhere in our security, whether it's for our business or just our personal lives. And now that we've seen how one single weak link can break the entire chain, the question I want to leave you with is this. Do you know where your weakest link is? And what are you going to do about it before it's too late?